Chang here today to talk to you about a couple of loading assist devices that I found. I wanted to give you a quick review on both of these, but before we get into that, if you could help us out with that algorithm, give us a like, hit that subscribe button, and hit that bell notification icon to the right. We'd greatly appreciate it. So let's talk about the two loading devices here. First thing I have is called the Beml. This is a loading assist device. It was originally, I believe it was invented by a paraplegic to help him load. This is brand new. I gave away the one that I was practicing with. So normally when we load magazines, if you're doing it the quote-unquote right way, you know, you're pressing the back end of the cartridge down on the follower so it gets below the feed lips, and then you push it to the rear. Now some folks have issues with that. So how this is supposed to work is it's supposed to kind of duplicate that motion, but what I'm doing is I'm using these two as steel wires or little pieces of metal and all this strength here, and I'm actually going to lever down. You see this? So I'm actually pivoting on the front end of the magazine, lever down, and now that the cartridge is below the level of the lips, I can slide my thumb to the rear, and then I can withdraw the piece of metal, the two little forks here. So again, using my thumb, resting the cartridge on the forks, I'm going to take those two forks. You guys see that? Placing them on the cartridge here, right in front of the feed lips, press down, lever, and then slide to the rear, and then remove the forks. So I like this loading device because it simulates the actual technique that we're using with our hands. It just gives us a little more mechanical advantage. The video that I saw of the inventor using this, I believe he's missing one of his hands, so he has this clutched up against his body and he's loading like this. So pretty cool device. Highly recommend it. It's very, very inexpensive. I don't remember the price off the top of my head, but I will put a link to it on. I got this on Amazon, and it's called the Beml. And I'll put a link to it. Very, very, excuse me, very, very inexpensive. So that's going to be that loading device. Let me get all this ammo unloaded. The next is this. I don't know if you guys can read this. Is Ludex magazine speed loader. Supposed to only work for 9mm or 40 caliber Glocks, but I have been able to get this to work with other brands. So I call this the slap chop loader. We've all seen those Lula magazine loaders where you squeeze and you push down and then you feed in the cartridge. Still some multiple motions here. This one, if you all remember the slap chop from I don't know, early 90s infomercial fame, where it was this container, you put your vegetables in it and you would slap on this plunger and it would cut up your food. So similar concept here. So we see this is a Magpul Glock mag, so the Glock mag shape there. So we see the flat end, these kind of mate together. So the way I work this is I just push down on it. So that's where the cartridge goes. Insert the cartridge, press down, and it's loaded. So really, really easy. Much easier than the Maglula device because I don't have to squeeze and then push down and then hold. This is just using gravity and a pushing motion, and now all my rounds are loaded. So I just tried this on a Springfield XD mag, and it definitely does not work. This is advertised for Glock only, but I have here a Smith & Wesson M&P 2.0 magazine. Go ahead and stage that up in there. Place that round. Slap it in. Nope. It'll work for one. Let's see if it works for another. Doesn't look like it's liking the feed. There we go. Subsequent. So I think it has to do with wiggling or how much wiggle room the magazine has. So those three all fed. Again, not designed for non-Glock magazines. I know, like I said, the XD doesn't work. Here's a SIG P320 magazine. Get that seated in there. And there's the one. Get that in there. There's the two. Yeah, the Sigmag. Oh, almost. Let's try a fourth one here. There you go. So you really do have to get that straight positive downward movement, and it looks like the other brand magazines will work. Those are the only platforms I have. I don't have anything like a Walther or an HK to test out. But there you go. So the Ludex speed loader, otherwise in my world known as the slap chop speed loader. Pretty cool stuff, right? So that's a quick one for you today. Recommend that if you are looking for any sort of loading assist device, don't necessarily have to stick with the old Maglula. I would recommend giving these two a try. And again, I'll put links to them down in the description below. So that's it. Hopefully you found this helpful or interesting. If you did, please give us a thumbs up. And again, help us out with that algorithm. If you could hit the subscribe button and that bell notification icon off to the right there, we'd greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much for your time. Stay safe, and we'll see you out on the range.